can actually see me and is actually live with me. Could you let me know? I'm trying some new software here. If you don't recognize this space and you've been on live events with me before, this is the inside of my magic recording box, hence the sound deadening foam. And I'm about to close that back part, so I'm going to be completely enclosed inside a box because I'm going to be doing something fun right now. I'm going to be live recording an episode from a new podcast. So it looks like some people are actually here. If you guys who are here with me, can you please let me know if you are in Facebook or in YouTube or both or whichever, so I know that this thing is actually working, because I'm trying to simulcast on 2 different platforms. So if you all don't mind letting me know where you're chiming in from, that would be lovely. Oh, my computer is doing the thing. Oh, dear. All right, let's see. So it looks like it's only on YouTube. Oops, that was loud. No, it's on both. All right, fantastic. Okay, everybody, give me a few minutes to get set up, and I'm going to start live recording this new episode. For those who don't know, my new podcast, which is hosted by Ancient Faith Media, is going to be dropping next week. And next week is going to be the beginning of an absolute blitz of new and original content coming from me. I've been taking a long break, partially because of the madness of COVID, but partially because I needed a rest. I've been going nonstop for a while. It's been a crazy, crazy year for sure. So I just needed to get a little bit of time to rest, to recharge, to read. I read a lot of books over this past few months, and to really start refocusing and deciding what's important for the future, what I need to do, what I want to do, and what kind of content I want to share with all of you. So stay tuned. On Mondays, starting next week, I'm going to be live streaming every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I'm going to be sharing my plans for the week. There's going to be a lot of new content. I recently relaunched my website with a bunch of new features and new services that I'm offering. It's intimately connected with my growing and very vibrant Patreon community, so I recommend you all check it out at nicholaskotar.com. So it looks like things are working okay here, even though nobody's leaving me comments yet. If anybody would be so kind as to leave me a comment and let me know if you are on Facebook or on YouTube, that would be lovely. I just want to make sure that this technology is actually working. At this point, it looks like I'm not getting any comments. Scene, source, camera, mic, overlays, no overlays, recording, all broadcasts, that's fine. Output, options, yeah, excellent. Well, in any case, if you all have a chance, go ahead and do that. If not, not a problem. If you already are doing that, I apologize. Like I said, this is the first time I'm actually working on this, actually doing this thing. But it looks like both Facebook and YouTube are working simultaneously, which is great. Okay, fantastic. So, you're welcome to leave me comments and reactions as I go. As soon as I press record on this podcast episode, I'm going to be shutting up. That's not what I want to say. I'm going to be not paying any attention to comments or reactions at that point, because I need to be focused entirely on the text of the story that I'm going to be reading right now. So go ahead and leave me comments if you like, but I will not be able to answer them until I'm done. Okay, just a little bit of context. This is episode 3. The reason I'm not live streaming the recording of episode 1 is because episodes 1 and 2 are actually done. And I decided to do several things at once with this simulcast. So if you don't know what's going on, I apologize, but hopefully the story that I'm going to be reading is interesting enough on its own without you needing to have any context. All right. Now I'm going to turn on the recording software. Where is it? I'm going to be recording this in GarageBand. So there's a lot of things running at the same time on my computer, and it's starting to complain and starting to make a bit of noise. So I'm going to have to try to get rid of that first before we move on. But we're going to try. Okay. Here's sound from Mac Pro speakers. Input 1. Yes, correct. Create. Turn that off. Okay. I'm setting up the levels right now. Ensure to put up the volume lower so there's no issues with volume. Compressor's good. Make sure that's okay. Yep. Alright. If it sounds like I know what I'm doing, I really don't. I apologize in advance. Okay, quit that. And we have to have that going. Oh, that's okay. Alright. Okay, we're just about to get started, everybody. This is, for those who know, who are in the know, this is the second part of the tale of Marievna. It's one of the more interesting folk tales from the Russian tradition. Part 2 because it's a very long story, and part 1 is actually in episode 2. But you will be able to hear the first 3 episodes, which is the first 2 fairy tales, drop on the same day on September 19th. That is 17th, next Thursday. Alright. Alright, computer, calm down. Let's make that darker. Okay, come on. Right now it's not handling itself very well. Alright, let's try that. Command F. Okay. Oh, there are comments. Huh, okay. Zoe, I can see your comments, but they're not coming through for some reason onto my eCam, so that's annoying. Oh well. Guess I'll have to try to figure that out later. Three comments. Where's the third? Okay, good. Okay. Just 1 or 2 more seconds. Make sure that it's actually working. It would be very embarrassing if I had to redo the whole thing just because I forgot to press one little important button somewhere, which, not surprisingly, I tend to do a lot. So, scene. Show scenes window. That is scenes window. Okay. No, I don't need that. Yeah, alright. Here's me being super fancy. Alright, YouTube, category, made for kids, no. Facebook, embedding. Cross post 2, no, none of that. Alright, I'm going to have to figure this out stuff later. It's actually quite complicated. I should have known. But at least you can see me also, that's good. Yeah, no, that's strange. The comments are not coming through. I don't know why. Oh well. Alright. Just about to get started. However, the computer is having issues, so we need to wait for it to calm down a little bit to stop overheating. This is a problem with this new MacBook Pro that I bought. It starts to make the overheating sound much more quickly than I would like. The previous computer was a piece of garbage, but it didn't overheat all the time, so that's nice. Hmm. Okay, everybody, I'm going to have to, well, no, I'll just figure it out later. Yes, Michael Abrahamson, you're absolutely right, Deacon Michael. The wonders of technology. The more they make life easier, the more they make life difficult. All right, what I'm going to do then, since the computer does not like to have so many apps on at the same time, is I'm going to give you a little teaser. I'm going to read a little bit out of the fairy tale, but I'm not going to be recording this, so this will just be a little teaser for you all. And actually, what I'm going to do then, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start reading a little bit from the beginning. So this won't be a live recording of it because that's not going to work. There's too much noise, and the computer isn't handling the overload on the system well. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to read a little bit of the beginning of the fairy tale for you all. And make sure to tune in on September 17th at all podcast catchers for the In a Certain Kingdom podcast, or just go to my website, nicholaskotar.com, where the episodes will also be dropping every week. The first 3 episodes will be available on Thursday, September 17th, and then weekly they will be available after that, also on Thursdays, until we reach episode 10, and that'll be the end of the first season. All right, let's get going. In a certain kingdom, in a certain land, there lived a prince named Ivan. He had 3 sisters, the Princess Maria, a second Princess Olga, and a third Princess Anna. Their parents grew sick and died. On their deathbed, they instructed their son, "Whoever comes first to marry your sisters, that's the groom for them. Don't hold them in your house over long." Prince Ivan buried his parents, and to calm his grief, he went with his sisters to walk in their wild, beautiful garden. Suddenly, a black cloud covered the sky. Thunder rolled wildly. "Come, sisters, we must get back home," said Ivan the prince. No sooner did they come back to the palace than thunder boomed, the ceiling split in 2, and a bright falcon flew in, struck the ground, and transformed before their eyes into a fine young warrior. He said, "Hello, Prince Ivan! Before this, I've visited as a mere guest. Now, I've come as a suitor. I desire your sister Maria as a bride." "Well, if she loves you, I keep no hold on her. She may go." And Princess Maria agreed. The falcon married her and carried her away into his kingdom. Day after day passed, hour running after hour, and a whole year then passed as though in a blink of an eye. Once again, Prince Ivan went a-walking with his 2 sisters into their wondrous garden. And once again, a black cloud covered the sky. Lightning struck the ground at their feet. "Hurry, sister," said Ivan. "We must get back home." No sooner did they come back to the palace than thunder boomed, the ceiling split in 2, and an eagle flew in, struck the ground, and transformed before their very eyes into a fine young warrior. And he said, "Hello, Prince Ivan! Before this I've visited as a mere guest. Now I've come as a suitor. I desire your sister Olga as a bride." "If Olga loves you, then so be it. I keep no hold on her." Olga the princess agreed, and the eagle married her. Immediately he took her up and carried her to his kingdom. And then yet another year passed, and Ivan the prince sent to his youngest sister, "Come, let us walk in the garden." They walked a short while, but then once again a black cloud, a fierce wind, and lightning. "Come, sister, we must return home." And they did. But they didn't even have time to sit down. Thunder boomed, the ceiling split in 2, and a raven flew in, struck the ground, and transformed before their eyes into a fine young warrior. If the first two were pleasant to look at, this warrior was finer than them all. He said, "Hello, Prince Ivan! Before this I visited as a mere guest. Now I've come as a suitor. I desire your sister Anna as a bride." "I have no hold over her will," he said. "If she has come to love you, she may wed you." And she did. The raven took her and carried her away into his own kingdom. And so Prince Ivan was left alone. A whole year he lived without his sisters, and he became very, very bored indeed. "Why don't I go and find my sisters?" he wondered aloud. And so he gathered his things, saddled his horse, and with his sword at his side, he rode off. Whether he rode a long time or short, he came upon a wondrous sight. A plain stretched out before him. Upon it lay an entire army of warriors, all dead or wounded. Prince Ivan asked, "If there is any alive among you, answer me, I charge you. Who has defeated such a mighty army?" One man still alive answered him, "This army was beaten by Marievna, the wondrous queen." Ivan the prince rode on till he saw a field of white battle tents before him. Out of one of them he saw a beautiful queen approach. "Hello, prince," said Marievna, the wondrous queen. "Where is God leading you? Somewhere of your own will or someone else's?" Prince Ivan answered, "Warriors never ride by the will of someone else." "Well," she said, "if you're not in any great hurry, be my guest for a time." Prince Ivan was thrilled. 2 nights and days he spent with Marievna. He fell in love with her, and then he married her. Marievna, the wondrous queen, took him with her to her own kingdom. They lived together in peace and joy for a time, but the queen grew restless. The war wind called to her, and so she left Ivan behind to go to war. She left the household to his care, but she warned him, "You can go anywhere you like, but don't look inside that cellar." Ivan couldn't contain himself. No sooner did Marievna ride away than he entered the cellar, opened the door, and saw a wondrous sight. Koshchei the Deathless himself hung there on 12 chains. Koshchei begged Ivan the prince, "Have mercy on me! Give me a drink! I have suffered here for 10 years without food or water. My throat is completely dry." The prince gave him a bucket of water. He drank and asked again, "1 bucket could not possibly satisfy my thirst. Give me more!" And the prince did. Koshchei asked for a third. As soon as he drank it, his old power came back to him. He yanked on his old chains, and they all 12 shattered into 1,000 pieces. "Thank you, Ivan the prince," said Koshchei the Deathless. "Now you will never again see Marievna, just as you will never see your own 2 ears. Buoyed by a fierce wind, he flew out the window, caught up with Marievna on the road, and took her to his own kingdom. Well, that's the bit that I'm going to read for you all. I'm going to double check to make sure that I'm not missing any extremely important comments. I don't think I am, but just in case. And then I'm going to say goodbye and let you all know that this is coming soon. So let people know. Tell your friends. This is going to be fun. I'm going to be retelling these stories, and I'm also going to be doing a little bit of analysis. Not enough to destroy the enjoyment of the story, of course. That we must never do. But hopefully enough to get a little bit of that burning love that I have for them to other people. Anyway, computer's going nuts again, so I'm going to say goodbye for today. And I'll see you all on Monday at 1 p.m. We're going to be going live again, where I'll be telling you about some really new, exciting new stuff that I'm doing over the next few months. All right, everybody. Have a good day.